Hello and welcome to another video of Precalculus. I am Sir Richard and this is the first part video of the topic ellipse. This video is based on the Precalculus first quarter grade 11, a module provided by the DepEd Region 4A Calabarzon. So for the objectives, first we are to define an ellipse, then determine the standard and general form, identify the parts of the ellipse. Then we will also try to compute and graph the ellipse in a rectangular coordinate system. We will be using Desmos for the graphing. Then recognize the importance of ellipse in the real life situation. So for the review, circle. Let C be a given point. The set of all points P, so C is the center. So the set of all points P having the same distance from C is called a circle. So this line in here has the same distance up to the center. That is why we are using the distance formula. So mula sa distance formula, we were able to come up with the equation x squared plus y squared is equals to r squared. Next is the parabola. Let f be a given point and L a given line not containing f. So this is f, and this is the up to point P, then this is point PL, which is the directrix. So the distance from this point up to this point and from this point up to the directrix is equal. So the set of all points P such that its distances from F and from L are the same is called a parabola. The point F is its focus and the line L its directrix. Now, for the another review, we will try to apply the Pythagorean theorem. So, ang Pythagorean theorem is given by the formula c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. In this part, missing cc. So, number one, we will apply c squared is equals to 5 squared for the value of a plus 4 squared for the value of b, and that will give us 25 plus 16, that is 41. So c squared is equals to 41 and c is equals to square root of 41. Number two, we have the missing value of b. So another formula is b squared is equals to c squared minus a squared. So b squared is equals to 25 squared minus 24 squared is equals to 49. And b is equals to square root of 49, that is 7. Then finally, we have missing a. A squared is equals to c squared minus b squared. And that will give us 17 squared minus 15 squared. And that is equals to 64. So a is equals to 8. So this is the application of Pythagorean theorem. We will try to apply it in our equations in ellipse. An ellipse, for the definition, is the locus of all points in a plane such that the sum of the distances from two given points in the plane, the foci or foci, there is the plural of focus, is constant. So the distance of this line plus this line is equal to the distance of the major axis. Yan. So we have two orientations for the ellipse. Number one is horizontal and number two is vertical. So for the horizontal, kapag yung center is nasa origin or 0, 0, ito yung itsura ng equation. So once na yung bigger number is under x, that means the orientation is horizontal. So in this setup, nasa ilalim niya yung a squared, kaya horizontal. Then, once the bigger number is under y, that means the orientation is vertical. So this one is vertical. So another setup, in the previous examples, ang center is 0, 0 or origin. This time, if the center has a value, for example, hk, so wala siya sa 0, 0, ganun pa rin yung setup. Once na yung a squared or the bigger number is under x, it is in horizontal orientation. And another, if the bigger number is under y squared, it is in vertical. So ito yung itsura ng standard form ng ellipse. Pythagorean theorem. How are we going to apply Pythagorean theorem? We all know that in terms of Pythagorean theorem, c squared is equals to a squared plus b squared. Pero this time, we will treat a as the hypotenuse. Kaya ang formula natin is a squared is equals to b squared plus c squared. Nag-interchange lang yung a and c, but still the same idea. So if we are to find a squared, that is b squared plus c squared. If we are to find the b squared, that is a squared minus c squared. And finally, c squared is equals to a squared minus b squared. So another things to remember is the length of the major axis. So later on, we will show the major axis is 2a. The length of the minor axis is 2b. Vertices, this point, is a0. Right now kasi nasa 0, 0 yung center natin. a0 and negative a0. Foci or focus, ito, negative c0 and c0. So these are the parts. This is the major axis. Ito yung may value ng 2a. Then, that is equals to 2a. Kasi separately, that is a, then another a. Minor axis, that is equals to 2b. And we have the focus. We still have the directrix, although hindi na siya sinasama. Pero you can still find the directrix if ever. So all we have to do is get the distance of the vertex to the focus, and that will also be the distance from the vertex to the directrix. Where can we find a and b? So from the equation, that is a, and that will be the major axis, and b will be the basis of the minor axis. So to find c, ito naman si c. But in terms of equation, we will try to use the Pythagorean theorem to find c. So still, as I said, it is a squared is equals to b squared plus c squared. Yeah. And center. This can be at the origin or hk. This is the middle or innermost part of an ellipse. Then vertices, yung nasa gilid, are the parts on the ellipse collinear with the center and foci. Each vertex is a units away from the center. The length of the endpoints of the vertices is called the major axis. Covertices, each covertex is b units away from the center. The length of the endpoints of the covertices is called the minor axis. So each focus is c units away from the center. So this is our center. This is the vertex 1. We can try to interchange that, vertex 2. Pareho lang naman. And also we have the covertex 1 and covertex 2. So we will be using V for the vertex, W for the covertex, C for the center, and F for the focus. So this is the pattern in finding the parts of an ellipse. Although we're not going to use it that much, since we can actually locate the parts based on sa given data. So watch out for the second video of this topic. Thank you.